Hi, my name is David Kalenuik, and I'm the President and CEO of Lake Victoria Mining Company. I'm your host today on Lake Victoria's pathway to gold production. How would you like to invest in a project and within the first 12 months begin to earn a return? Or better yet, how would you like to earn a return every quarter, steady for as long as the company earns a return on that same project? If your answer to those two questions was yes, then you're going to really enjoy Lake Victoria's business model and our pathway to gold production. So let's get started. But before we get started, I need to share this one disclaimer with you. Lake Victoria has no mineral reserves or resources as defined by National Instrument 43-101. So I request that once you're finished watching this presentation, please come back to this slide and press your pause button and review it thoroughly. Lake Victoria has been exploring in Tanzania for over 6.5 years, and currently we have 7 different gold project areas, all in the Lake Victoria Greenstone Belt. Many asked, why Tanzania? Well, as you can see from the slide, it lists some features. One, it's peaceful, it's politically stable, mineral rich, mining friendly, and it's virtually unexplored when it comes to mineral exploration. And on top of that, it's Africa's 4th largest gold producer with over 45 million ounces in reserve. And we're definitely in gold country. Major discoveries have been made in Tanzania. African Barrick has made 5, and the discoveries range from just under 1 million ounces to over 17 million ounces. During the 1990s, Canadian National Instrument 43-101 was created. It created regulations regarding reporting on mineral properties by public companies. Today, it requires independent reports for resources, reserves, and economics. Previously, when a company found gold, they decided whether or not they should begin mining it. The situation today is very different. This has caused a new threshold cost to open a mine, and could be the reason why less than 1 million ounce deposits have almost become a thing of the past. The entry costs themselves prohibit it. These are just a few mines that commenced with less than 1 million ounces and went on to produce much more. Another factor, it costs money to find resources or reserves. In fact, finding costs average between $10 and $20 per ounce and about $50 per ounce to prove up reserves. That would mean a 1 million ounce deposit could cost $10 to $20 million to find. That money is not easily available in today's marketplace. Another factor is that feasibility studies cost big money, from several hundreds of thousands of dollars to millions of dollars, and are no guarantee for success. In fact, the mining industry is full of failures with feasibility reports. This brings us to a summary fact. A successful gold mine comes from experienced people with good projects and proper finance. Looking at Lake Victoria, we see that it possesses over 200 years of experience in the technical development and production team in finding and producing gold. And when we visit the Lake Victoria Greenstone Belt, we find thousands of small-scale miners that are actually excavating non-43-101 compliant resources. They're processing non-43-101 compliant reserves, and they're making money without preliminary assessment, pre-feasibility, and feasibility study. That brings us to Lake Victoria's business model, to identify small-scale gold mining targets and to bring them into profitable gold production. As we've mentioned earlier, we've been operating in Tanzania for over 6.5 years and invested close to $7 million in acquisition and exploration of primarily 4 targets: Kalenuik, Singida, Yoyoa, and Kabakari East. I will repeat, there is no resource or reserve identified on any of the company's properties. However, the company has identified mineralization that appears to be correlatable over significant strike and dips, and a conceptual target has been estimated. Initial test work on the mineralization from the Kalenuik project reveals high gravity and cyanide recovery rates, as press release December 19, 2012 and April 26, 2013. Extraction and processing equipment has been identified and is being selected and priced by the company's independent contractors. Special mining licenses can be obtained in Tanzania on existing primary mining licenses. But for clarity, I'll state there's been no preliminary assessment, preliminary feasibility, or feasibility study conducted on any of the company's properties. The company is not basing its production decision on a feasibility study of mineral reserves demonstrating economic and technical viability. The Kalenuik Gold Project, east of Mwanza, in the Lake Victoria Greenstone Belt, is the first of 4 projects that Lake Victoria is reviewing for small-scale mining. It has easy access from the town of Bunda. Potentially economic gold grades have been encountered in trenching over widths up to 4.1 meters. Drilling beneath these same trenches to depths up to 100 meters below surface encountered similar grades and slightly wider widths of mineralization, with multiple intercepts in some holes. On this slide, color-coded assays are shown on drill hole traces. Correlation between the drill holes along strike for over 700 meters and down dip has been established. These correlations allow for 3 or more steeply dipping subparallel veins to be identified, which are illustrated in green, purple, and blue. This allows for a conceptual target of between 600,000 to 1,000,000 tons of mineralization, with grades between 1 to 3 grams of gold per ton open for expansion to be established. We believe a small-scale mining project may be established in Tanzania using standard truck and shovel mining techniques, and that standard crush, grind, and recovery systems can be obtained for relatively low capital cost. Figures provided by other operators in Tanzania, and in part tested by an independent contractor at Kalenuik, provide some basis for cost estimates. These are not engineered figures. In this example, cutoff grades can be calculated at less than 3/4 of a gram of gold per ton. Consequently, our target is to acquire the largest, highest grade shallow gold deposit at the lowest cost. At a minimum, we would like to see more than 600,000 tons at greater than 1 gram of gold per ton, capable to be mined at a minimum of 300 tons per day. We believe that with all other issues considered, that we could have a very positive net cash flow for such an operation. In a September 19, 2012 press release, the company announced its desire to fund each of these mining targets through the use of a royalty purchase program. This slide here illustrates the benefits to the royalty purchaser as well as the common shareholder of the company using this type of instrument. For the royalty purchaser, near-term production will deliver near-term returns. There's no cap on the return, which represents a carried interest for the life of the mining project paid on quarterly net production. The participant has the option for the royalty payments to be made in cash or gold. As announced January 9, 2013, the company contracted and entered an agreement with an experienced mine developer and operator. The royalty agreement has a low risk when compared to both exploration projects and large-scale development projects. For the common shareholder, the program represents no further dilution of shares, the ability for the company to progress from an exploration company into a gold mining company. It demonstrates the management's commitment to success and in adding shareholder value. The blue sky potential is that we have up to 4 mineral targets that can be monetized, and statistical research indicates that share price appreciates when a company commences gold production. So let's summarize. Our business model is to establish 1 or more small-scale gold mines. The variables to profit in this are the price of gold, whether it's up or down, the size of the target if it expands, the recovery rate that we end up with, the production cost per ounce, and the average gold grade. You can have reasons for confidence because the company's conducted all the exploration work on these 4 projects. We know where the gold targets exist and their characteristics. We're comfortable operating in Tanzania, and we possess over 200 years of experienced technical development and management teams. Additionally, the mobile mining and recovery equipment has been identified and priced, and our metallurgy results indicate high gold recovery in excess of 92%. We are poised and ready to commence on the first mineralized target. On February 27th of this year, Lake Victoria introduced the LVCA Media Room. We created it to bring you, our shareholders and investors, into the heart of the action. Here's a brief introduction video that covers some of the highlights we've already brought to you.
Land Mine Development Limited is
at 8.5 meters. This is the rock.
They're taking the quartz fragments, which have gold.
Any way it will be profitable.
I think we can safely mine these. Yeah, there's waste. Yeah, you don't have to take that.
This test is going to tell us how deep this machine can go.
We don't want to move any more waste than we have to. Waste costs money to move, and it doesn't make us anything. So if we can keep the pit narrow, and this proves that we can, we're going to be money ahead.
It's no secret that I've always been a fan of production. And let's face it, this is a business. You've got to make money.
And so I wanted to have the process simplified without jeopardizing recovery. Maybe better to make a dory bar there. You do have CIL plants as well?
Yes.
Our engineer, we're accompany us together to the workshop.
We buy a cone crusher that comes complete with the base and the legs and everything, is that correct?
Yeah. To be honest,
yeah, yes, okay. And most people there are looking forward to this. You have better control over grade and better control over your costs. From the time that we are finally commission the mill and start up, we should be able to pour a brick within the first month.
This is your sample prep room. That's a rock crusher. And we feed it at a steady rate through the feeder, through the bulking unit.
So on behalf of the company, I wish to thank you for taking the time to join us on Lake Victoria's pathway to gold production. If you choose to contact us, please use the details on the following slide. And we wish you all the best.